Hi there, I'm Ben and welcome to my secret lore or collectibles guide for Mortal Shell. So there are two types of secret lore. There's inscriptions and there are etchings. I've broken this video down into areas. There are 4 main areas in the game and there are timestamps in the description for each collectible or inscription and etching, plus each area. Here's the first one, so we're right at the start of the game. We've literally just left the tutorial. This is an etching. You need to hit the wall. They'll be completely invisible until you hit the wall, and then you can interact with them. There are 17 etchings and 19 inscriptions in the game. We need to collect all of them, find all of them for the Seeker of False Truths trophy or achievement. So we are in the main. I'm going to do this first. We're going to do the main area of the game, Fallgrim, which is kind of like a hub area. It leads off to all of the other 3 areas. So I'm not going to break this video up in just jump ahead. I'm going to do each area and I'm going to run between each single one so you don't get lost, because this game you can get pretty lost quite easily. So I'm going to run to each one. So we're off to the right hand side here. Got that first inscription. Then we're going to go and get a second etching. I've removed all enemies from the game. Well, I haven't removed them. I've killed them all before recording. So you're not going to see any enemies in my video, but they will be everywhere. So just be aware of that, obviously. So here's another etching. Again, you will need to hit the wall. If it's not there, that's why. So just hit the wall first and then it'll appear. And every time you do hit the wall, you're going to get a glimpse of wisdom. You won't see me get any of them because I've hit the wall already on all of them. So yeah, we're going to do this main area first, then we're going to break off into the other 3 areas, and I will link them all together so it will all make sense. The only time I do jump is when we leave one of the side areas to come back to this main area here, which is the tower. You can just see it to the left. This area here, this bit now, is the tower. That's kind of, if you play Dark Souls, that's like your Firelink shrine. There's no enemies in the middle of the tower, and that's where all the upgrading and things like that happen. So there was another etching. We're right at the start now still. You can think of this area as kind of one big circle with branching paths off, and they also link in. It's quite complex. It's actually really good level design. We're going to go in here. Now there would be a big Gritza in here. So yeah, you can see him, he's there, dead on the floor. Obviously I've already killed him, so you'll have to take care of him. He's kind of a mini boss, so take care of him and then come down here. You might have to break some wood. I forget if there's actually wood in front of this one. We'll go through this hole. This is where the Solomon shell will be. There'll be another little enemy in here, and you can see the etching on the wall there. I've already hit it. The way this game is structured is you can come back and do any area at any time until you interact with the last boss after defeating them. So you can come back and get these. There are actually 3 missable ones though, and these are in the Seat of Infinity. Once you've beaten the boss in each area, the area kind of changes a bit, and in the Seat of Infinity, which is one of the areas, things change quite a lot, and you won't be able to get 3 of the etchings, which is weird because you can actually get to them where they are, but you hit the wall and they don't appear. So I don't know what that's all about here. I'm on New Game Plus. I'm doing this on New Game Plus. You can do this, obviously, on your first playthrough. So yeah, follow it along, and I will explain as we go through each area how to kind of open it up as well. So yeah, I thought this was the best way to do it. I know it's a longer video, but this place is pretty confusing. So here's another inscription. Inscriptions kind of look like that in for the most part, and then sometimes they change to tablets on the floor. So here we are. This is the main hub area now. So remember where we are here, because I will be jumping back to here at the end of the areas before the bosses. I won't be fighting the bosses. I'll just be jumping straight back to here. I won't be running back because it'll be a lot of running. You can just kind of follow the same path back. It's just going to make the video a little bit quicker, and the information's still there because you can just watch the video, well, not in reverse, but just reverse the path we took originally. So there was that etching in the tunnel, and then there's an etching up here. The way I've labelled these etchings and inscriptions, you can see I've just put the first 3 words. They don't really have names per se, they just have a lot of text, and the first 3 words are different for each one, so it just made the most sense to do that. If you want to keep an eye on which ones you have or which ones you're missing, you can check in the compendium, which is on the touchpad, and go under lore, and it'll be there. So you look for the first 3 words that you don't recognise. Again, in the description there'll be timestamps, so you can look for each one if you've got one missing, because it won't tell you until you kind of pick it up what it is. So if you just look for the missing one. Right, we're nearly there now. Fallgrim is nearly done. I'm just going to go under this tree, and then we're going to make our way over to Shrine of Ash, which is the first sort of branching area. There is one more in Fallgrim, but it's right before Seat of Infinity, the entrance to that place, and it is quite far away. These are all quite close together. We've basically done a circle around this area. Here's where you get the Tile armour. I think I actually show you in the video, if I remember rightly, in a moment. Yeah, so if you go and hit this, go through, the Tile shell is in there. The one I'm wearing, I think it's the best one, because you have so much stamina, basically. And if you're wondering why my stamina is not going down when I'm running, that is because of the Tile. One of the upgrades, basically, running doesn't cost stamina, which is really, really helpful in fighting as well. It means you can run around and get away, and then still have the stamina left for actually attacking. But that's not what we're doing this time. Right, we're going down here. We've gone back to the main area, backtracks a little bit. We're going to go down this path now. This is the last etching we're actually going to get in Fallgrim. For now, there's one more, and it is on the way to Seat of Infinity. We'll get that shortly. It's quite far away. Now we're actually going to go to Shrine of Ash. The side areas, or the main areas, these side bits that we're going to, these branching areas, don't actually have too much in them. Seat of Infinity has quite a few inscriptions, but for the most part there's not actually much to find. And most of them are near the end. There's some at the beginning and then some at the end. Not much in between, but like I said, I'm going to show you each area. I'm going to run through each area fully. All the enemies will be gone like they are here, so no interruptions. So here we are, we'll go up these stairs, and now we're going to go into Shrine of Ash. And this is the very beginning of Shrine of Ash. See the weapon there. Go and fight Hadron and get the weapon. Again, there'll be big knights and things in here. With shields, I always find the best way to defeat them is running and hitting them with R2. I'm going to go down to the right in here. I'm not going to interact with that. I'm going to take this etching here. Interact with that coffin and some ghosts. I think it's ghosts in this one. It depends on it. It's different. There's quite a few of them in this area. Ghosts will appear, so be aware that enemies will appear if you interact with it. And then I'm going to go down here. So yeah, if you do miss the 3 missable ones, we haven't done them yet. I will tell you which ones they are. You can get them in New Game Plus quite easily. Because of the way this game is structured, you can go to any place at any time. You can just run to it. So yeah, it's not too bad. So this door is open now. Just interact with it normally. I've gone through and cleared everybody out first. Just interact with it and it'll open. And go down here. Some pretty tough enemies in this area. But it's a good place to come first. Because it's not as tough as the other areas. Now the toughest enemies are these guys. Well, they're not tough, but just annoying. These guys in this cauldron here. They throw fireballs at you. And there's a lot of other enemies in here, so you need to prioritise those guys. And I'm going to go down here. So I've broken it down into sub-areas as well, so we're actually in Monument of Ash now. And then we're going to go to Sanctum of Flame. So there's 3 sub-areas off the main area. So we're in Shrine of Ash. That's the whole area is called Shrine of Ash. We were in Temple Grounds originally. We're just in Monument of Ash. And then we're going to go up here. And this is in Sanctum of Flame, which is where the boss will be. So you can just run straight through all of this and not interact with any of the enemies. Here's another coffin. Again, you'll get ghosts or spirits turn up if you interact with it. So we're near the boss now. I'm not going to go and do it. We are at the end of this this area, though, Shrine of Ash. I'm just going to get the last 2. There's an inscription down here. and then there's an etching underneath the stairs. And that's it. That's all of Shrine of Ash done. I'm going to warp back myself. So if you have the ornate mask, you can do that yourself and just walk back to this area. If not, you'll have to run all the way back. Or if you haven't done the boss, just go and do the boss and then run all the way back. So we're back in the bottom of the tower in Fallgrim, the place where I told you to remember. We've been here before. Now we're going to go off to Seat of Infinity. There is one more etching on the way. It's just before the entrance though. So this is the cave that had the big guy in. I'll do some crawling. This one is a bit out of the way. It doesn't really circle round like the others do. There'll be quite a few enemies here as well. Lots of guys with crossbows, which is quite annoying. I think there's still one here. You're going to see it come across. Yeah, there he is. He's weird. He's sort of halfway down the cliff face. He's quite hard to kill unless you actually shoot him yourself. So just look for these big monoliths type slabs everywhere. You know you're in the right area then. This is also where the final shell will be as well. Eredrim. You'll be leaning against that that one on the left hand side there. And then here's the etching. So again, obviously hit the wall to make it appear. And that's Fallgrim. That's everything in Fallgrim done now. And now we're going to go into Seat of Infinity. This is the biggest area of the game. There's lots of running here. And I'm going to kind of skip some of it. But I will be running through it. I'm not going to open the area up. I will explain how to open the area up though as we go. So this is the very start of Seat of Infinity. This first area is called Eternal Narthex. Yeah, let's go with that. So this is one of the missable ones. You can come back to this area once you've beaten the boss, but weirdly you can't hit this wall, and the etching won't show up. You can hit the wall, sorry, but the etching won't show up anymore. So make sure to grab that one for definite. If not, you just have to run here in New Game Plus and grab it. It's not much of a hardship. There are two others that you will need to do as well that are missable. So go to this this lift or teleport, sorry, on the left hand side, and it's going to take you to the direct opposite other end of the area. Up the left hand side here is the main stairs to carry on. It's open up now for me because I've already opened everything up, but you'll need to open the main door up behind me by interacting with these kind of braziers. You can see one just ahead of me here on the floor. Interact with it. Some spirits will turn up, so be aware of that. And then there are two more. I'm going to show you where one of them is, and then I'm going to not show you where the other one is because we don't need to go there. There's just one inscription in this massive area. That's all there is. So I'm going to run through here. The actual the brazier type thing is just on the other side of this wall. I'm going to be running along this wall, so you see it in a minute. And then the final one is right at that T-junction. Say the first brazier is a point, the middle of the point. We've just gone left. If you go right, that's where the other brazier is. It's up high, so just look up. There'll be loads of enemies around it. You'll see it. You need to interact with all three of them, and then stand on the key in front of the big door, and it'll all open up. Again, I'll show you that when we get to it in a minute. Just a long old run, this one. So yeah, there'll be spirits up here as well, and enemies everywhere. Obviously, I've cleared them all out. So you can see it just there. Where those enemies are, you can see it just on the floor next to the big guy with the hammer. I've already done it. So go down there and interact with that to open the door up. But we don't need to go down there. Well, we do. We're going to go down there. We're not going to go and fight them though. And do a nice little roll off there. And then we're actually going to go through the big door now into the next area called Dim Gate. So dead ahead now will be where the next, or the final brazier is. It's kind of under where that tree branch is. It's higher up, so you will need to go round to it. Now we're going to go the big long run to the top of Dim Gate. There are a couple of things to get along the way though. I thought it was best to do this because this way with the long drawn out. Here we go, here's this key. So once you've done the 3 braziers, stand on this and the big door will open up and you'll be able to go through here. Yeah, I thought it was best to do this because it is quite complex and there's no map and there's lots of similar looking terrain. You get lost quite easily, and I do take feedback in. I know people do appreciate these sort of fuller guides where you not just jumping around. So that's why I've done it this way. That's the way I'll try and do all of my guides. Obviously, if you want to just skip around, there are timestamps as well, so it does serve both purposes. So to the left here, there's going to be an inscription. This is what the inscriptions look like. Obviously, you've just seen the previous one as well. There's going to be a lot of these, 7 in one place shortly. Go and do another etching. This one is also missable again. Kill the boss in this area and you won't be able to get this one anymore. It's underneath this statue. So this statue is the way you've got to go anyway, so you're going to run past this. So just give it a quick whack and get that etching. And now we've got to run all the way to the top of Dim Gate. Lots of enemies, lots of crossbow enemies as well. It's got to go all the way around. Thankfully, the final area is well, I say final, you can do them in any order. But the final area I'm going to go to is a lot shorter. The Crypt of Martyrs. So you can cut through to the left and go through this this circle, but I've not killed the enemy in the middle. You can just run round if you don't want to. I think we're going to see him in a moment. There he is. Oh, there's 2 of them. Definitely helped having infinite stamina, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know where she came from. I think she kind of fell off, and as I walked away, she climbed back up. So I don't know why she was there. But just quickly get rid of her and carry on. See what I mean about it looking very similar everywhere as well. Looks like we've just already been up those stairs already. Right, we're at the top now. I'm going to go and get this final etching. This is also a missable one, so make sure you grab this one first time round. Again, you can just run in New Game Plus if you like. So you see it on the wall there, maybe. And there it is. And now we're going to go to the final part of Seeds of Infinity, which is shifting archives. There are lots of inscriptions here, or there, should I say? We're not there yet. 7 inscriptions, and they're all very close together. So I love it when games do that. Loads of collectibles all nice and close together. This again is another long run. No enemies, so we will just be running through. Yeah, be careful not to fall as well. If you're looking for the mango, that's down here. The one food item that is very rare and very well hidden as well. I'll try and explain. I do have a separate video for it, so if you do need the mango, just check my channel out and there'll be a video for it there. It's below where we are. Not yet down, so right below where I am to the left. If you look down, there's a chest, and that's where the mango is. It's very hard to see if you don't know exactly where it is. So again, check my video if you're looking for the mango. But that's down here as well. Might as well get it while you're here. There's only 1 per playthrough, and you only need 1 for maximum familiarity. Nearly there. You can see the library, not the library, sorry, the archives coming up. And the first one's going to be outside here. So you can see it as we get towards it. It's just on the floor here, directly ahead of me now. There we go. And then it's a maze in here. So I'll try and explain it best I can so we don't get turned around. But there's three, think of there being three corridors. So we're on the left hand side here. We've got that center one, and this is the left. So I'm going to go in and hit here. And then we're going to go back out, and we're still in the left hand corridor. And we're going to go left after this dark pillar. Nope, yep, there we go. Even I was getting turned around then. And there's number 3 for this area. We'll go back into the main corridor. So that's where we are. And then we're going to go out in the open area now. And there's one again on the left. Yeah, there's a bit yeah, so that's the corridor we just came from the front. And you go there, that's the last one. Now we're going to go to the opposite side and grab one. Yeah, they're all, it looks like somebody's just been smashing their keyboard with these next few. I don't actually know what they say. Well, they don't say anything. They're just a load of nonsense. The next one's here. The Sester is to the left hand side. She's really big in this. There she is. Really big in this area. So make sure you speak to her as well. And then the final boss is directly ahead where that skull was, and that's the final one for Seat of Infinity. So we're going to warp back to the tower in Fallgrim now, so you know exactly where I am here. We've been here several times now. I'm going to go to the final area, Crypt of Martyrs. We've already kind of been the way. We went a little bit down to get some of the secret lore before. So go through that tunnel, and then we're going to head this way. So where the big tree is, there was one of the inscriptions underneath it. This big tree with all the bats on it. So that was one of the ones we got earlier. And this is where the tile shell is. Then we're going to continue on, and just through this archway here is the way to the Crypt of Martyrs. So yeah, Crypt of Martyrs is a bit weird. I'll tell you at which point, but there is a point of no return, kind of. You have to beat the boss in the area to be able to get back out if you don't have the ornate mask. It's a bit of a weird situation. I could not find a way out. I'll explain about it in a moment. We're okay up to now. So we're actually in Crypt of Martyrs now. This is the first bit, abandoned chamber. So go past the Sester. There's the weapon for the area. And then continue around. It's very dark in here. Well, this first bit, it gets a lot lighter in a moment. Again, all enemies are dead here. This is definitely a good shell to have for this area, especially if it's upgraded. And you have the poison upgrades, because it means you can get through the whole area. And if you do get poisoned, you'll just get healed, and it's actually really helpful. So yeah, there's another instance where if you interact with that, you'll get attacked. But we're just going to grab this inscription here. We're not going to go get that other item. And then we can go back. And things are going to open up a bit now. So yeah, there's lots of the enemies that kind of rip their own head off and explode into a big cloud of poison. So yeah, this shell with its poison upgrade is definitely going to help out. So here is the point of no return. You see I'm going to drop off a ledge here into the enshrined sanctum. I could not find out a way to get out of here. This is not the main boss of the area, by the way. That's just a kind of a mini boss. Bit of a larger mini boss, let's say. But here's the etching we're coming for anyway. So once you drop off that ledge, if you don't beat the final boss of the area, the martyr, the first martyr, you can't get back up that ledge unless you have the ornate mask or something that allows you to warp around. But once you do beat the boss, a ramp will appear and you'll be able to escape then. So just be aware of that. So be committed to this area, to defeating the boss basically. So go down this left hand side and grab the inscription. If you do know how to get out without, if there is another way I'm missing, I checked absolutely everywhere and couldn't find it. But if there is another way, let me know in the comments. I would like to actually know that. But yeah, I couldn't find a way out. I had to defeat the boss first originally. And it's probably the toughest boss in the game. Or I was definitely underpowered at the time anyway. So yeah, Enshrine Sanctum is done. There's just that one thing there. We're going to go right to the end now to the Martyr's Altar. So basically the boss area. And just get the last two things. And then we're going to get the Secret False Truth Trophy. Or Achievement. Go all the way. Again, this looks quite similar. They're actually heads that I'm kicking around on the floor as I'm running. The poison enemies. The ones with all the swords stuck in them. So yeah, you will need to kill a lot of guys here. Again, guys with shields do running R2 attacks. Best way to get them down. Or I found it was anyway. Nearly there now. So yeah, we're nearly done with this. So we're going into here, and these are the last two. And yeah, that's going to be the whole video done once we get these. So there's the Seister, Janessa. There is the final etching of the game. This is actually when I get the trophy. There we go, Secret False Truths. But we do actually have a inscription to get yet. It's just past where the boss drink is. So there's where you would interact to get to the boss. We're just going to go through a tunnel here. And yeah, grab this last inscription. So yeah, if you know how to get out of here without defeating the boss, again, please let me know. It'll help people out if they get stuck. But here we are. Go through here. Go ignore that cage. And grab this final inscription. And that's it. Right. Thanks very much for watching. I hope this one has helped. And I'll see you on the next one.